Hello everyone, hope you're alright. In today's video, I'm going to do some planting in my fabric raised beds inside greenhouse. So this is my greenhouse and I have set up two fabric raised beds which are 4 by 2 feet each, and I have filled them with topsoil and topped them up with multipurpose compost. So I'm going to plant my warm vegetable crops like cucumbers, melons, courgettes, zucchini, gourds, bell peppers, and eggplants in these raised beds. So we don't get really hot summer here in UK, and the summers are really mild, so we can't get these crops perform outside well for us. So I'm going to plant these crops inside my greenhouse, which is unheated, technically cold frame, but it gets really hot during the summer, so I think it will be all right. So here are my plants. These are the cucumbers, bell peppers, and eggplants, which I started indoors. Bell peppers and eggplants I started in February, towards the end of February, and I have transplanted them already in these separate crops. And the cucumbers I started last month in April. They are nice and big now, so they need to go in their final place. So this is the first week of May, and if you haven't started already, you can direct seed cucumbers now. So these crops can be direct seeded, and it's better to direct seed them because sometimes they do not transplant well. So cucumbers, melons, gourds, squashes, pumpkins, all these things can be direct seeded in May. So before doing any planting, I'm going to put a liberal amount of fertilizer in my soil. So this is fresh topsoil and I have topped it with multipurpose compost. There are already lots of nutrients in it. But I like to add a good amount of fertilizer in the soil before planting because all these crops are really heavy feeders. Cucumbers, melons, bell peppers, eggplants, they need lots of nutrients for them to perform really well. This fertilizer has lots of phosphorus in it, which will help with the development of strong root system. So I'm working the fertilizer in the soil so there are no big lumps and it's nice and loose. And then I'm going to plant my cucumbers in this raised bed. So I have put two stakes on the back of the raised bed, and my idea is to plant a row of cucumber plants at the back of the raised bed so I can support those plants by these stakes. So here are my cucumber plants. As you can see, they are nice and big now. I started them indoors in a sunny windowsill, and there are two varieties of cucumbers in here. One is market more, which is a long cucumber variety, and the other one is Beth Alpha, which is like small snacky cucumbers. So I will plant the market more cucumbers on the back side, and I will plant Beth Alpha cucumbers on the front side. So I will have two rows. So here I have got two more cucumber plants. So basically I put two seeds in each cell. So some cells have only one plant and some cells have two plants. But I'm not going to take them apart, and I'm going to plant them as it is because sometimes cucumber plants do not transplant well. So if one plant doesn't make it, I can have the other plant. So I have planted two rows of cucumber plants and I have got stakes at the end, and I'm going to support these plants with a line of jute rope. So I'm going to run a jute rope between the stakes, weaving the plants through it. So as the plants grow, I can keep adding a line of jute rope so the plants climb up the trellis. So as you see, I have already added a line of jute rope, and I'm going to continue doing this as the plants grow. So basically these stakes are like 6 feet tall, and if the plants go higher than this, I may add another stake on the top, but I think that's the maximum I will get because we don't get a long growing season anyway. So here are my melon and zucchini plants, and zucchini plants do not climb, so I don't need to plant them at the back of the bed, so I can plant them on the sides of the bed. So again, I'm going to plant a row of my melon plants at the back of this raised bed between the stakes, and I will run a line of jute rope between the stakes. And here are my gourd plants, which I will plant on the side of the raised bed, and I can support them with stakes as well. So I'm done planting all my melon plants at the back of this raised bed, and I have run 2 lines of jute rope already. So they are nice and big and they are floppy at the moment, but soon they will recover the transplant shock and start growing again. And I have got like 6 to 7 inch gap between the plants, and I have planted my zucchini plants on these sides of the raised bed. Both raised beds, there are 4 zucchini plants and 2 gourd plants which I have got on the other side of the raised bed. Now I'm going to plant my eggplants and bell pepper plants on the front side of the raised bed. So here you can see my eggplant. I started it in February and then I transplanted it in this tissue roll case, and you can see it is nice and big now, and the roots are growing through this tissue case roll which is biodegradable. You can plant it directly in the soil and it will degrade in the soil and feed the plants as well. So if you are interested in learning more about using tissue roll cases as plant pots, I will include the link in the description box where I planted my eggplants in these tissue roll cases. So I'm done planting all my eggplants in this raised bed. I have planted them 5 to 6 inches apart from each other, and in the other raised bed I have got my bell pepper plants. So I have managed to get 15-16 eggplants in this raised bed and 15-16 bell peppers in the other raised bed. So basically, if you plant them in the ground, you will have to give them more spacing, like 1 foot apart from each other, because the ground is compact and the roots can struggle and compete with each other. But in raised beds and containers, we can plant them much closer because we have this deep raised bed. So this raised bed is like 1 foot deep, and all the soil is accessible by the roots, so they don't have to compete with each other, and basically we can plant them much closer. So I have got like 15-16 eggplants, 15-16 bell peppers, 2 rows of cucumber plants, 1 row of melon plants, 4 zucchini plants, and 2 gourd plants. So let's see how it goes. And once they are recovered from transplant shock and they start growing actively, I can start feeding them with tomato feed on a weekly schedule. So basically, these plants are heavy feeders and it's important to provide them all the nutrients they need. Also, as they are inside my greenhouse, they are protected from windstorms, so I don't have to worry much about staking them. If they get nice and big, I can add stakes on the end of the raised bed, and I can run a line of jute rope through them, and I think that will be enough to support them. Also, I will have to water them regularly because they are inside my greenhouse, and once the weather starts getting warmer, it will be really hot inside my greenhouse. So last summer it went above 40 degrees centigrade during the summertime, so I have to keep an eye on these plants. I need to feed them regularly, I need to water them every day, and I will keep you updated about their progress. So if you are interested, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my gardening videos. You can also join my channel for extra perks. Thank you very much for watching today. See you next time. Bye.